We back in it. Let's get right to it. Here we go.
Right now, as it stands, we have no problem in saying that WWE just chose the worst winner of the Royal Rumble ever. In turn, have WWE killed off Charlotte Flair? Has history just repeated itself and WWE has made the worst decision ever again? Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Why did WWE think that Charlotte Flair was the best choice for a winner for the 2025 Rumble? Firstly, let's look at the big win. Now, heading into the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair and Io Sky were the odds-on favorites to win the match. But when it came to Flair, she was set to return at the show, and with her rumored for a major matchup at WrestleMania 41, it seemed logical for her to win the matchup. It was reported for weeks before the show that Flair was likely to win, and WWE didn't seem to have any interest in going in an alternative direction. In relation to Io Sky, she's considered one of the greatest workers in the entire company, and a match with Rhea Ripley had already been building on TV. Sky was definitely the fan favorite to win the match, and her not winning has without question impacted the negative reaction of the match itself. It also hadn't helped that Sky, along with names such as Bianca Belair, were eliminated in one of the worst spots in Rumble history, as Nia Jax would then throw out a plethora of top names all at once. In fact, this spot could have been even much worse, as Fightful reported that the spot was supposed to see Nia Jax throw even more wrestlers out. A Flair's Rumble win would receive significant backlash from fans, as although the live crowd in the stadium weren't exactly booing, it's not like they were going crazy with positivity. The online reaction, particularly on YouTube, was insanely negative, with WWE's upload of Charlotte Flair's win having a total of 37,000 dislikes and counting. Hell, even any mention of Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble on WWE's YouTube channel just gets a ton of dislikes, actually more dislikes than likes itself. So why? Why did WWE pull the trigger, and what was Papa H's reasoning? Triple H's reasoning for Flair getting the big win, it's clear that Triple H wanted to re-establish Flair, and he was of the belief that the Rumble win was the easiest way to achieve this. One of the main arguments against this will be the fact that Flair is already established. Flair has won titles left, right and center, and she's even a former Rumble winner from 2020, and it could certainly be argued that Flair is one of the names on the women's roster that really did not need re-establishing. Flair losing the Rumble match and entering the Chamber would have been way more compelling. WWE are telling a similar story with John Cena right now on television, and although there were a strong portion of fans who wanted Cena to win the matchup, it's easy to see why WWE are going in the direction they are. It looks like Flair vs Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's title is the plan for WrestleMania 41, and it appears that WWE's booking of Flair to win the Rumble was just the easiest way to get to that matchup. Now, in terms of an Io Sky win, it would have generated more buzz and excitement, especially as the audience always likes to see talent who have never won the Rumble before get the W. Even if WWE didn't want to proceed with Sky, they could have delivered a major shakeup by having a newer talent such as Roxanne Perez or even Jordynne Grace win the matchup. Triple H's booking of the women's division has been a common complaint during his time running WWE Creative, and the 2025 Women's Rumble would have acted as the perfect opportunity to deter any criticism.
When I was young, I wanted to be a doctor, but I ended up making oatmeal. I'm Brian Tate. I'm the founder and CEO.
And show the world that he cares about women's wrestling. Now, the women's rumbles have been a mixed bag over the years, and one of the most criticized winners before 2025 was 2020, ironically when Flair last won the match. In a bizarre move, this was the year in which WWE decided to have Flair challenge for the NXT Women's title, and this was even teased again on Raw. Cue the UF'd up chants now. Both Rumble wins for Flair and Jey Uso respectively received online backlash, but when it came to Jey's, the backlash and resentment was strictly online and didn't carry over to WWE television. But the same couldn't be said for Flair, as Flair would come to the ring on Raw and deliver a passionate babyface promo, and the fans could see right through it. The fans instantly rejected this babyface version of Flair, and she was booed heavily. The promo became the talking point on social media, and it was a sign that this babyface story for Flair was off to a disastrous start. In that promo on Raw, WWE would have Flair get interrupted by Ripley, and due to Ripley's popularity, it appeared that she was there to save the segment from being a total car crash. but in reality it showed the difference between the two supposedly babyface characters, as Ripley is authentically over with the audience, whereas Flair is a babyface simply because WWE is telling the audience that she's now a heroic figure. Using Ripley in this segment was a huge risk, and it may have made more sense for Flair to be interrupted by a heel such as Liv Morgan or even Nia Jax. WWE has unintentionally set Flair up for failure, and they should have known that this approach was never going to work the way they intended. Flair's return was built on vignettes that presented Flair as a cocky heel, and with now Flair suddenly being presented as a babyface, there's a weird disconnect there. It also doesn't help the fact that Flair has to face little to no resentment in reaching the top of WWE once again. Flair returned from her injury, was instantly labeled and marketed as a legendary wrestler, and then won the Rumble. So where's the adversity? Where is the traditional babyface struggle that makes fans root and care about that specific wrestler? Time and time again, Flair's returned and instantly won the title. Heading into her return, one of the primary things fans wanted was a new lease of life when it came to a character. Whether Flair plays a heel or a babyface, it's practically the same exact character every single time, and fans wanted something new and bold. Becky Lynch realized this a few years ago, as she knows she couldn't stay the same character forever, and she's gone between the Last Kicker, The Man, and Big Time Bex, all of which are vastly different and each have their own motivations and characteristics. WrestleMania awaits. And now that Flair has won the Rumble, her feud with Stratton will begin to take shape in the coming weeks and months. The upcoming feud puts WWE in a very difficult position, as Flair's babyface run is already a total failure, and with Stratton being incredibly popular as a heel, the fans are going to reject the wrestlers, particularly Flair in their current form. The best thing WWE could do is book a double turn and have Flair go into WrestleMania as the heel and have Stratton enter the match as a beloved babyface. There has been an idea floating around online of WWE delivering the double turn at WrestleMania and in the match itself. This has been done before at WrestleMania, most notably Bret Hart vs Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. The issue with this is that WrestleMania is still months away, and the crowd resenting the build will damage the anticipation for the matchup. The match itself on paper sounds incredible and should in theory act as a natural passing of the torch moment from Flair to Stratton. However, for this to happen, WWE have to master the presentation of both wrestlers and realize that the current incarnation of Flair just isn't working. Elsewhere on the WrestleMania card for the women, Io Sky vs Ripley seems likely. An Elimination Chamber will probably decide who faces Ripley on the grand stage. Interestingly, WWE have gone down the route of Sky failing to qualify for the Chamber, and there will potentially be a last chance type matchup that will allow Sky to enter. This is the exact type of adversity and drama that makes babyfaces over with the audience. Sky is having to go through hell to get to WrestleMania, and when the end product is her in a title match on the grand stage, it makes it even more endearing to the audience. This is the exact route WWE should have taken with Flair, but instead they decided to hand her everything on a silver platter. Now there are other names such as Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss all expected to be on the card in some capacity. When it comes to Lynch, she was rumored to return at the Rumble, but obviously that didn't go down, and Belair will still likely be involved in a tag team partnership with Naomi. Whereas Morgan and Bliss may face off in a singles matchup, but that's unless WWE decide to include the two in a faction warfare match between the Judgment Day and the Wyatt Six. Now the real issue. Now some fans may question why Flair winning the Rumble is such a big deal, and why it's been so negatively received at both online and on Raw this week. Ultimately, what it shows is Triple H's lack of focus and care when it comes to the division itself. The game took the easy way out with the Women's Rumble, and now this is the result. The fans have already turned on the Rumble winner, and she's only delivered one single promo. Now, Triple H loves long-term plans and character arcs, yet when he attempts to do this with the women, they've been vastly underwhelming. The extended feud between Ripley and Morgan in 2024 received universal disdain from the fans, and it heavily damaged both of their respective characters. Frankly, because it went on longer than it should have. Triple H should have had a compelling roadmap ahead for the women's division for WrestleMania 41, as outside of some potentially compelling character work from Io Sky, it doesn't look like this is going to be present this year on the road to WrestleMania 41. What do you guys think? Have WWE just killed off Charlotte Flair? Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
I wish they would kill off Io Sky. There's nothing left. Why does she have to be in the main event again? She need a new finisher, bro. And a manager. A new finisher and a manager, and she's cool. But right now, not so much. Anyways, I'm gonna see you on the next